Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at Journey Together. And we need to do that thing we do. We're a month and a half out, a little bit more. We need to sit down and have a look and go, all right, what do we actually know about this set? We know that it is an amazingly hyped set. We know that it's something about which a lot of people are, and frankly should be, very, very excited. But how excited should we be? Now, starting off, it's important to note how this equates to Japan's set. It is one set. We are essentially bringing over Japan's battle partners. That is it. That is what we are bringing over. There's no A set coming around. Now, there was an A set, obviously, recently in Japan. That was Terrestrial Festival. But of course, Terrestrial Festival came over here as Prismatic Evolutions. There is no other Japanese set. Yes, there were the Marnie and Steven EX decks that were brought over, they're coming out in Japan very soon. Don't worry about this. We know for a fact that these are not going to be included in Journey Together, partly because we know there's only 4 trainers Pokemon EX, and partly because they got released too late. So we know for an absolute fact these are not going to be in Journey Together, and the trainers that are featured in Journey Together are just the 4 on the booster pack artwork: Lily, N, Ino, and Hop. Okay, cool. Now, there are some other things which are probably going to be brought in. Those Generations decks over in Japan, we are still missing a bunch of cards that originated in there. Most importantly of which is Blaziken EX, which is a genuinely playable card. One of the EXs which is going to be coming in Journey Together is Mamoswine. And Mamoswine it's not the best deck in the format, no one's pretending it is. But it is a fringe deck, a viable deck. It's winning city leagues, and it's played with Blaziken. Mamoswine does damage based on the amount of stage 2s you've got on the field. Blaziken is a stage 2 which accelerates energy. Mamoswine's a 2 energy Pokemon. So if you're playing Mamoswine, you're genuinely going to be playing Blaziken. So cross your fingers that is in the set. That is actually very important. So we might be getting some cards from Generations. There's also still a bunch of outstanding promos. No, the most recent pack in Japan, that's the one that had Hop's Pincurchin. Very unlikely to be in the set. And actually, we know it's not in the set because we know there's only 4 Trainers EX in the set, and that is a Trainers EX. But we do have some slightly older promo packs, which we'll probably get a couple of cards from. So there's the one that included Rabsca, that came around with Japan's equivalent of Surging Sparks. Or there's a promo pack that included Veluza EX, that came around with Japan's equivalent of Stellar Crown. Or we've got, for instance, the Kilowattrel, which came around with Japan's equivalent of Mask of Change. Only joking, we obviously already had that one, came around in Surging Sparks. So we've got a couple of promo packs there. The Rabsca and the Veluza, they're the ones we are essentially waiting for at this point. Cool. Now, so essentially the set is going to be largely battle partners, but there's a few promo packs and decks, etc., that we may well get a bunch of cards from to essentially beef out the set a little bit. Yes, a lot of that is largely filler, I'm not going to lie to you, but I have seen Rabsca topping tournaments in Japan, and Blaziken is absolutely legit, so, there are some interesting cards that we could be getting. Now, in terms of the products that we're going to be getting for Journey Together, this we do actually know. I've shown you this before, but I will run through nice and quickly. We've got 2 different types of Elite Trainer Box, the regular and the Pokemon Center exclusive. Do remember that the promo here is Enzorua. It is the illustration rare, which means it's going to be taken out of the set so that it can be popped in here. We got 3-pack blisters featuring Scrafty and Yanmega, and then 1-pack blisters featuring Scraggy and Yanma. I adore the fact that the 1-pack blisters have the Pokemon that evolve into the 3-pack blisters. That makes me genuinely happy. It's also worth noting that the Yanma and Yanmega were in the same promo pack in Japan as the Veluza. So I'm not saying Veluza EX is confirmed, but I am saying here it is rather likely. Having said that, the Scraggy and the Scrafty were from the same one as Kilowattrel, and we've got Kilowattrel but had to wait for Scraggy and Scrafty, so I don't know. At least a decent chance. We then have Check Lane blisters coming. Now those are the ones whereby you get an evolution line, Klinklang and Rhyperior here, plus a pack. It's not really worth it. We've got ourselves a booster bundle, 6 packs for the price of 6 packs. Usually not a big deal, but in this set, if it's going to be sold out, it might actually be. The Hopzash EX box is actually coming out on the same day as Journey Together. That is the 28th of March. I should say that is a release date. I haven't said that yet. Let's say it now. And that brings an alternate art Hopzacian, along with foil Hops Wooloo and Double, which are playable, and 4 packs, 2 of which are Journey Together, but 2 of which are not. And then we get the booster box. Now, we've had a look at this, and we now know there are 2 types of booster box. We've got the regular, which does not have an End Reshiram promo, and we've got ourselves the enhanced, which does. We know the Pokemon Center is going to have the enhanced. I have done a lot of digging around, and it seems at the moment like the deal is this. Chains, big box stores, etc. are going to get the regular. Local game stores will be getting the enhanced booster box, which I adore incidentally because it means that we should, have a chance to support our local game store. Not the ones that, put 20% extra onto the price than they should, just because it's got the promo in and they think they can, but certainly good local game stores should be supported. They are supposed to be the same price for what it's worth. We know that from the Pokemon Center listing. They are not supposed to be extra for the promo. There are some stores that will charge a lot extra for the promo. We've talked about this before, that's another video. But it seems to be that the local game stores will get some of these, but not an unlimited amount. It seems like there are a limited amount of these which are being given to local game stores, or, sold. And then big box stores aren't going to get these. That is the best information I have. That is what it looks like right now. That is not 100% confirmed. But I've spoken to friends that own stores, and essentially local game stores are able to order some of these, but not a huge amount. Whereas I've spoken to friends who work or run online stores, and they're not being able to order these because they're not local game stores that are running events. So that's what we're looking at in terms of a product lineup here, but we actually know a lot about the set. If we go to the press release, they tell us the notable cards. We know there are 4 trainers Pokemon EX, and we can just look at the set over in Japan. We can look at battle partners. We know what they are. We are talking about Enzoroark, Lily's Clefairy, Hopzacian, and Iono's Bellabolt. Nothing unusual here, that's what we know. Now, 16 Pokemon EX is where things get interesting, because there's only 4 other EXs in battle partners. We've got the aforementioned Mamoswine, which I think is fair to say, gigantic deal. We've then got Volcanion, we've got the Dunsparce, and we've got Salamence. But that's it. So there are a bunch of other EXs that are going to be coming, but again, we have talked about this quite a bit. The deal here is really simple. We've got the Generations decks, we've got a couple of promos as well, so the likelihood here, it's not a guarantee, but the likelihood here is that essentially we're going to be catching up, so to speak. And that's where the rest of them come from. As I've told you in recent videos, there are no Terra EXs, and there are no A-Spec. They are gone, they are done. They were here, they've gone away, those types of cards are over. Owner's Pokemon is what we're talking about. But do remember, the full arts here are so much more fun than they were before. Okay, the full arts that have got the trainers in are a lot more fun than before, because they've got the trainer in. Obviously, the regular full arts don't have the trainer in. That is actually very, very important. And we also know that the gold cards, now, we're talking Iono's Bellabolt and Enzoroark here, but look how amazing they look. They're absolutely stunning. They're ridiculous. They're phenomenal. I've said many things about them. I'm a big fan. But the point is, they are really fun cards because they just, they're coloured in, they just look so much better than what we've seen in the past. It's a really positive change. For what it's worth, there are 3 Hyper Rare Gold Etch cards. We know that the other one is the energy, the spike energy. It's fine. It's all right. It's not exactly what we're super duper hyped about, but yeah, we know that that is the third gold card. We know that there are 6 special illustration rare Pokemon, and again, we know what they are. We know that we've got Iono's Bellibolt, Lily's Clefairy, and Zoroark. These are the big 3, incidentally. But then we've also got Hop Zacian, and then Volcanion and Salamence. No, there is no Mamoswine. Yes, that does make me very sad. Essentially, there were 4 non-trainers Pokemon EXs, and 2 spots available for special illustration rares, which means that there was a 50% chance that Mamoswine got one. Mamoswine didn't get one. I'm very upset about this. This makes me very, very sad. And worth noting that it is confirmed there are no special illustration rare supporters. Now, the 11 illustration rare Pokemon, this is where things get a little more awkward. Because you see, there are 12 in battle partners, and we know that Enzorua is our Elite Trainer Box promo, so in theory we should go, right, take Enzorua out, that leaves 11 jobs are good, but it's not that simple. We know that Reshiram is a promo in the booster box, but we don't know it's exclusive to the booster box. Maybe it's a stamped version or something like that. We don't actually know. We don't have precedent. We know that Enzorua being put in the Elite Trainer Box means it's taken out of the set because we've had many sets where this has been the case. We don't know what the deal is with a box topper promo. And if they are going to be a little bit rarer, these enhanced booster boxes, having an artistically unique promo would be far more of an issue than if we just whacked a stamp on it. But then we've also got the Biobox promo from over in Japan, which is your Iono's Wattrel, which could be in the set. So they could take Reshiram out and replace it with Iono's Wattrel. That would absolutely be an option. Or they could leave Reshiram in the set, have just a slightly different version with a stamp or something in the box, and then we get Iono's Wattrel later down the line as a different promo. I don't know what the answer is here. I'm sorry. We've not had that confirmed one way or the other. I do feel pretty confident I can tell you what 10 of the illustration rares are. So we're going to be getting Maractus. We're going to be getting Articuno. We're going to be getting the amazing Wailord. We're going to be getting Iono's Killer Wattrel. Lily's Rabombi, which is a very big deal. Swinub. Yeah, at least we got Swinub. Lycanroc, Furret, and I love the artwork on Furret here, Noibat, and Hops Wooloo. Those 10 cards should be a given. But like I say, we're not getting Enzorua, and then either they take Reshiram out and replace it with Iono's Wattrel, or they keep Reshiram in because it's just a slightly different version in the enhanced booster box. We're going to have to wait to find out the answer to that for certain. So there we go. I've shown you all the products. I've shown you most of the secret rares, not all, I'm sorry. As I said, there are some questions which are still hanging out there. And I have told you how the set generally works. I've given you a lot of information. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these cards you're looking forward to. Tell me what about the set makes you happy. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel, like the lovely Kanto Royalty, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.